Some lives are made to be lived quietly, while others blaze like fire across the sky. Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry is a love letter to that blazing kind of living, the messy, radiant, fearless kind. It's a story that sneaks up on your heart, then shakes it wide open. From the very first page, it whispers the truth about pain and joy and how sometimes you have to break all the way open before you can finally begin. In this powerful story, Emily Henry strips away pretense and expectation and delivers something raw, honest, and unforgettable, a journey through grief and healing, through letting go and holding on through heartbreak and love and laughter. You don't read this book so much as you feel it in your bones, and once you do, you'll never forget it. Harper is a woman stuck between before and after. Before the loss of her vibrant, irrepressible best friend, before everything familiar unraveled. After, when nothing feels the same, grief clings to her like a second skin, and she's no longer sure where to go or who to be. Her life used to feel wide and open like a blank page full of possibility. Now it feels narrow, dim, and unfinished. She can't quite remember how to laugh, how to dance, how to be anything but a shadow of the girl she used to be. Her heart still pulses with the memory of her best friend's light, but the light itself is gone. And with it so much of who she was. Harper had built a world around her friend Skylar, a woman who burned with the energy of 1,000 stars. Skylar wasn't perfect, not by a long shot, but she was magnetic. She pulled people in, made them feel seen and alive and possible. She made Harper feel like the brave version of herself. But when Skylar's life ended too soon, everything fell apart. Now Harper lives in fragments, moments where she pretends to be okay for the sake of everyone around her, and long quiet stretches where the grief nearly drowns her. Her job, her friendships, even her sense of self have all faded into a fog of just getting by. She's a woman who once lived boldly, now moving through life as if she's afraid to take up space. But life has a funny way of forcing change. When Harper's job requires her to move back to her small hometown, the one she and Skylar once escaped together, she has no choice but to return to the place haunted by every memory. She expects ghosts and sadness and the weight of everything she's lost. What she doesn't expect is the slow, persistent return of life. Not in grand gestures but in tiny moments that sneak up on her. The familiar smell of summer grass, the warmth of a shared smile, a sunrise that breaks through the gray, and a man named August who might just understand how it feels to carry grief like a secret. August isn't looking to save anyone. He has his own ghosts, his own regrets, and his own past he'd rather not examine too closely. But he sees Harper, not the polished version she pretends to be, but the real one underneath the pain. He knows what it's like to feel broken and hollow. And in his quiet, steady way, he becomes a mirror for Harper, a reminder that maybe she's not as lost as she thinks. He doesn't push or demand. He simply shows up again and again, offering something she forgot existed, the space to be real. As Harper spends more time with August and slowly reconnects with pieces of her old life, she begins to realize something. The pain might never fully leave her. The loss of Skylar is a wound that will always ache. But maybe the ache doesn't mean she has to stop living. Maybe grief and joy aren't opposites. Maybe they're threads of the same story. A story that still matters even if it's different than what she imagined. Bit by bit, Harper begins to rediscover parts of herself she thought were gone. The fierce loyalty, the wild laughter, the ability to dream. She starts writing again. She starts connecting. She starts forgiving herself for surviving. There are no sweeping epiphanies, no perfect resolutions, just the slow unfolding of a heart remembering how to beat for something more than pain. There's beauty in that process, in the mess and the healing and the quiet bravery of choosing to keep going. Emily Henry writes with tenderness and insight, weaving a narrative that feels both deeply personal and universally resonant. She doesn't shy away from the messy parts of life. In fact, she leans into them, mining them for truth and connection. Great Big Beautiful Life is about grief, yes, but it's also about friendship and love and second chances. It's about how people leave marks on our hearts and how those marks can hurt and still be beautiful. It's about the kind of love that doesn't fade just because someone is gone. And it's about learning to live fully even when you're scared, even when you're scarred, even when you're not sure how. Harper's journey is not linear. She stumbles. She retreats. She gets angry and tired and overwhelmed. But she also finds moments of joy, dancing barefoot in the rain, laughing over coffee with old friends, remembering what it felt like to be loved unconditionally. She learns that healing isn't about forgetting, it's about remembering differently, holding onto the love while releasing the weight of the loss. It's about finding your own rhythm, even when the song has changed. The romance in the book is tender and real, never overshadowing the larger journey, but enriching it. August is a grounding presence, not a savior, but a companion. His own vulnerabilities add depth to their connection, and their love story unfolds with authenticity. It's not about fixing each other, but about witnessing each other and choosing to stay. Their relationship is a quiet rebellion against the idea that broken means unworthy. As the seasons change, Harper finds herself making peace with the past. She visits old places she once avoided and faces memories she tried to bury. And slowly, she starts imagining a future again. Not a perfect one, not free of pain, but one where she gets to be whole, even if that wholeness looks different than before. She learns to carry Skylar with her not as a weight but as a light. She learns to honor the love they shared while also making space for new love, for new adventures, for a life that is still hers to shape. By the final chapters, Harper stands taller. Still scarred, still healing, but undeniably alive. The girl who once disappeared into her grief has become a woman who owns her story, not in spite of the pain, but because of it. She's a testament to resilience, to the messy, beautiful truth that life can still be good even when it's hard. That joy can coexist with sorrow. That love, real, lasting, soul-deep love, doesn't end just because people do, and that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is choose to keep going. Great Big Beautiful Life is a story for anyone who has ever lost someone they loved, for anyone who has ever felt broken, for anyone who has ever wondered if it's okay to laugh again, if it's okay to hope again. It's a reminder that we don't have to have all the answers to keep moving forward, that even in the darkest moments there can be light, that healing is possible even if it doesn't look the way we expected, that life can still be great and big and beautiful even after loss. This novel is more than fiction. It's a companion for the wounded, a balm for the grieving, a celebration for the living. Emily Henry has crafted something timeless and true. If you're ready to feel seen, to cry and smile, and maybe rediscover a part of yourself, Great Big Beautiful Life is waiting. And trust me, it's worth the journey.